You know, as I look back at my career as a sales professional and a marketing professional, as a regional director at age 31, obviously there's a lot of success that I've had throughout the course of my career. But what's interesting is that that success almost never happened because when I was a young professional, just coming out of college, I actually struggled for a couple of years when I was in sales. And to kind of explain the story, I was a young, cocky, brash, arrogant kid as a 19-year-old intern at Allergan Pharmaceuticals. And that internship turned into a full-time sales position with Allergan. And I took over territory that was ranked second to last in the country and was told that there would be zero expectations from me because I was just there to learn how to sell, and I would be moved to a different territory where I could make a lot of money. Well, I looked at my manager straight in the eye and said, I will be the #1 salesperson in this territory in 6 months. And he and I went back and forth because he said it's just not going to happen. And what happened over the next 2 years was that I struggled miserably, and I kept the territory at the bottom. And it got so bad that I tried to quit Allergan and actually didn't get hired by the competition. At one point, I thought about going back to school to get my MBA, and I wasn't accepted. And I pretty much went through a personal and professional depression at the time before things turned around. And eventually, through the course of learning how to get my ego in check and through learning how to really understand how to relate to people and how to focus on what's really important as a sales professional, my numbers skyrocketed the following year and ended up being salesperson of the year. But how it all started was I was at a conference with my then boss, Jim Trinick, who was the director of sales training at Allergan, and we were talking about my background and my story. And he had known that I had gone into Allergan as a 19-year-old intern and it ended up being salesperson of the year several years later. And he said, Jamar, people need to hear your story.